Coming up on today's San Francisco 49ers Report, my name is Chase Senior. Thanks for hanging out here with me. By the time that you're watching this video, I hope all of you out there are getting set to have a fantastic weekend. We're going to take a look at Mel Kiper's latest 2026 mock draft and who he has going to the 49ers. Before we do that, get your Dub City gear right now. This design, I helped design it with our design guy, Arnold. I think it's stellar. I think it looks awesome, and we have sold hundreds of these shirts all across America and all across the world. This is the t-shirt option. We also have a hoodie option. This logo, it's a little bit different. It's on the left pec and chest area. And we've sold shirts, we've sold hoodies. So get yours now. Dub City collection gear available now at chatsports.com/dubcity. We really appreciate your support. And this goes a long way in supporting what we do as a company and the San Francisco 49ers Report. All right, let's take a look at Mel Kiper's first 2026 NFL mock draft. And outside of the Super Bowl teams, the Seahawks and the Patriots, the draft order is official and set from picks 1 through 30. So Mel Kiper has Fernando Mendoza, the Indiana quarterback, going to the Raiders at number 1. Arvell Reese, the pass rusher of Ohio State, going to the Jets at number 2. Francis Muaga, offensive tackle out of Miami, going to the Cardinals there at number 3. David Bailey, really athletic pass rusher out of Texas Tech, going to the Tennessee Titans, and Robert Saleh. Carnell Tate, star wide receiver for Ohio State. Man, how many wide receivers have they developed over the last several years? Going to the Giants there to pair up with Malik Neighbors for Jackson Dart at number 5 overall. Spencer Fano, offensive tackle out of Utah, headed to Cleveland there at number 6. Ruben Bain, a dream selection for the Niners if he were on the other side of Nick Bosa, to the Commanders there at number 7. Just too early for the Niners, and I don't think that they can trade up for him. Jordan Tyson, wide receiver, Arizona State, to the New Orleans Saints there at 8 overall. Jeremiah Love, running back out of Notre Dame. I thought he should have gotten more Heisman buzz, to the Kansas City Chiefs at number 9 overall. The Chiefs have desperately needed a dynamic running back over the last few years, and we'll see if they're in the running for a free agency running back like Breece Hall. Caleb Downs, the safety, to Cincinnati there at number 10. Keldrick Falk, defensive end out of Auburn. I would love him for the Niners because of his size, to the Dolphins there with the 11th overall selection. Sonny Styles, linebacker out of Ohio State, to the Dallas Cowboys at 12. They need to get better at that second level. Jermon McCoy, cornerback out of Tennessee, to the Rams via Atlanta. That was because of the James Pierce trade. Mekhi Lemon, slot wide receiver, to Baltimore at number 14. They just hired a 29-year-old offensive coordinator in Declan Doyle. Lamar Jackson is also 29. Kenyon Sadiq, another great Niner target here. The uber-athletic tight end out of Oregon, to the Buccaneers, 15th overall. Ty Simpson, second quarterback off the board. It's a thin quarterback class, to the New York Jets via Indianapolis. Vega Giovanni, guard for Penn State, to the Detroit Lions at 17. I would love for the Niners to somehow get him. Mansour Delaney, cornerback, LSU. Minnesota Vikings there with the 18th pick. C.J. Allen out of Georgia, the linebacker, to Carolina there at number 19. Akeem Mesidor, defensive end out of Miami. Mesidor and Bain, they caused a lot of havoc and destruction against Indiana in the national championship. If you don't know their names, you saw them if you watched that game. Number 20 overall, to the Cowboys via Green Bay. Denzel Boston, wide receiver, Washington, to the Steelers there at 21. They need to get better at wide receiver for Mike McCarthy. Peter Woods, a defensive tackle out of Clemson, disappointing year in 2025, to the Chargers there at 22. Avion Terrell, the corner out of Clemson, his brother is A.J. Terrell of the Falcons, to Philadelphia there at number 23. Zachariah Branch is a fun, dynamic player. Cleveland taking him here per Mel Kiper via Jacksonville with the 24th overall selection. Cade McDonald, defensive tackle, Ohio State. He's a disruptive player, to the Bears at 25. Chris Brazzell, wide receiver, Tennessee, to the Bills at 26. And then for the Niners here, we'll focus more on this selection. Caleb Lomu, offensive tackle, Utah, opposite of Spencer Fano. So 2 bookend tackles for Utah going in the first round. To the Niners there at 27. Caden Proctor would probably be my choice if I were the Niners. Offensive tackle, but some people think he's a better guard out of Alabama to Houston. Monroe Freeling, offensive tackle guard out of Georgia. To the Rams there at 29. Caleb Banks, defensive tackle, Florida. 30th overall pick. Cassius Howell, edge rusher, Texas A&M to the Patriots there at 31. And then Brandon Siss, cornerback, South Carolina to the Seahawks at number 32 as Mike McDonald continues to load up on that defense. My reaction to this, and this is kind of the reaction that I've had to a lot of mock drafts over time. A lot of draft experts over the last few years are like me. They think that the Niners need to upgrade along the offensive line. What do Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch do? They turn their back to all of us who are desperate for the Niners to get better along the offensive line. But if the Niners do go offensive tackle in round 1 here, if the chips fall their way and they go best player available and that BPA is an offensive tackle, you know what my reaction's going to be? An offensive tackle for the San Francisco 49ers. Here's what Mel Kiper had to say on Caleb here. I recently moved him into my top 25 rankings. He is really good in both pass protection and run blocking, and his quickness is going to be an asset in the NFL. Could he be the heir apparent for Trent Williams at left tackle? Williams will turn 38 this summer and has just 1 year left on his deal. San Francisco can't kick the can down the road too much further on its long-term plan. Lomu had 24 career starts, allowed just 3 sacks during that time, all in 2024. With him joining Spencer Fano in this mock, we might see both Utah offensive tackles in round 1. We've had 2 offensive tackles from the same school, both go on day 1, only 4 times in the common draft era, most recently in 2020 with Georgia's Andrew Thomas and Isaiah Wilson per ESPN Research. You need to get a Trent Williams replacement at some point. You can't just, like Mel Kiper said, kick the can down the road over and over again, and then once Trent Williams retires, you have no backup plan. What do good businesses do? They always plan ahead for the future. Something else I really like with Utah football is their previous head coach, Kyle Whittingham. Kyle Whittingham always preaches toughness and physicality. One thing I want the Niners to really emphasize this offseason, getting some dogs, getting some guys who are extremely tough. And this probably helps you do that. Now, the PFF grades are certainly up and down. Overall grade for Lomu of 68.3 this past year on 823 snaps. Here's the bright spot, a pass blocking grade of 82.1. You can become a better run blocker, especially in this run-happy scheme for Shanahan. So his run blocking grade 62, but the big things here, no sacks allowed, 4 penalties. And so you flip the page and you look at some of these other numbers as well. Only 8 pressures given up. The 4 penalties isn't great. What the Niners could do here, though, draft him to play left guard for 2026. And then once Trent Williams retires, then you slide him out to offensive tackle. As far as Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft, he has the Niners going with a really sexy pick here. Oregon tight end Kenyon Sadiq. And when I say sexy, I'm not talking about the dude. I'm talking about the idea of the Niners drafting this player. If you're into that, that's fine as well. Daniel Jeremiah, not the greatest word choice for me, I'll admit. Here's what DJ said on Kenyon Sadiq. Sadiq could go much higher than 27th overall. He's undersized, but he has outstanding speed and is a competitive blocker. He would be the ultimate chess piece for Kyle Shanahan, giving the coach a hybrid of George Kittle and Kyle Juszczyk. And with Kenyon Sadiq, it's not like his numbers have been out of this world during his collegiate career. 3 years with the Ducks, 2023, 5 catches, 24 yards, 1 touchdown, no drops. 2024, 24 grabs, 308, 12.8 yards per catch, 2 touchdowns, 1 drop. This past year, 51 catches, 560 yards, 11 yards per catch, 8 touchdowns, 6 drops. What happened with the drops there? That's a little bit concerning. But as far as being a blocker, being athletic, having speed, being dynamic, picking up yards after the catch, being a weapon for Coach Kyle Shanahan, this would be a very fascinating selection. Sexy, as I said a little bit earlier, from a football standpoint. Who do you want the Niners to draft? Mel Kiper, Daniel Jeremiah chiming in with their mock drafts, and mock draft season is only getting underway. So be ready. We'll continue to give you great draft coverage right here on the show.